Welcome everyone to today's Empyrion Workshop Showcase. Join me for a special look at the Portopod. Today's design is the Portopod, and it is an unlock level 15 size class 1 base design coming to us from creator Renderin. Now this showcase is a special case scenario because this is a design I directly asked for in a recent live stream. Because we are limited to using a deconstructor with a base and cannot use it with a capital vessel at the moment, this means you are locked into needing a base on planets where you might just be interested in stopping for a little while, gathering all the resources you can, and then leaving. So you either will have to have a large amount of resources that you go to another planet where you have a permanent base and break it down with the deconstructor there, or you just need something you can use temporarily to set up shop on a planet or moon and have a deconstructor ready to go. So the Portopod is a pretty straightforward design. It comes with 8 solar panels on the top of it. Now inside we have a single solar capacitor, 2 fuel tanks, 1 generator, our deconstructor, a furnace, and 6 cargo boxes, so you do have some room for storing cargo in here. There is a large hangar bay door, which of course can be used to protect you while you're inside from being attacked, or just use as a way to get a vessel up here like a hover vessel or small vessel that has some cargo in it you need to drop off. Now this design, as I showed, does have 2 fuel tanks, but there is a big emphasis on the use of solar power. Depending on where you build this on the planet, you will be able to get a pretty good amount, and as you can see here, with 8 solar panels at the prime time of day, I am getting almost 600 kilowatts. With no production running, it only is going to use about 20 kilowatts, and that is only if you're running the lots. Now with a recent update, we can add more solar batteries to the base designs now. However, once you turn on production, you're going to see that power go away very quickly. Just turning on the furnace and the deconstructor will increase your consumption to 70 kilowatts. That is with them sitting still doing nothing. With both the furnace and the deconstructor running at full, you see it is now using 3.35 megawatts. So yes, any solar power you have will quickly be drained away, which is why there's only really a need for 1 battery in this. It carries no oxygen tanks or oxygen stations, no weapons. It is strictly for production. Now, of course, with this simpler design, you would think that the resource cost should be fairly low, and for the most part it is. The most expensive component will be the 438 stone dust, but of course, because of the use of the deconstructor and furnace, you will need certain items such as cobalt, neodymium, and sathium for this. Now in my gameplay, I normally do not bother with the furnace because I typically keep my ores as they are until I need them. My preference would be to take out the furnace and replace it with an advanced constructor instead. And for this sort of situation, I would probably focus more on using the advanced constructor simply for processing fusion cells. By using an advanced constructor instead, it cuts the consumption down to 2.34 megawatts. And of course, with the smaller size of the advanced constructor, you could rearrange things a bit and put 2 of them in here, meaning you could increase your production capabilities a bit further if that's what you want to do. Now, while this does have solar power and it will be used up very quickly, adding more solar panels can help you out a bit. Here I have added an additional 6 solar panels, 2 on each side as well as 2 on the front, because in this case the front is closer to where the sun is. With the added solar panels and the positioning towards the sun, I am producing 930 kilowatts. This is still a far cry from producing enough to keep this going full time on just solar power. However, this little bit will make a difference in how much fuel you have to actually put into this. At full power, at full capacity with the 2 fuel tanks, you have 12,000 fuel in this, and at full production with the default design, even during the middle of the day, I have 7 hours of use. With my modified design, adding the additional 6 solar panels, as well as switching out the furnace for an advanced constructor, at full production I have over 10 hours of use during the middle of the day when I have good solar power. Because this is unprotected with no turrets, you will definitely want to keep it either next to your capital vessel, which is hopefully armed with turrets, or deploy a standalone defensive tower nearby to keep it protected from drone attacks. The main part of this design is that it is cheap to build, especially later in the game once you move to another planet where you will need this, and then easy to break apart when you are finished on that planet or moon and need to move on to the next one. Does this mean you have to stick with the design in this basic format? No, you can always customize it in a different way than what I have shown today. Maybe you feel like one deconstructor is not fast enough. Take out the furnace, throw in another one. So once again, this is the Portopod by creator Renderin. If you would like to check it out, I will of course have a link in the description below, and if you try it out and like it, be sure to leave him a thumbs up and a good comment on the workshop page. Well, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.